I think being a mom in of itself is such a hard but rewarding, beautiful job. And everyone's just trying to figure out what's best for them and what works in their life. And I think it's ridiculous when people pass judgment on somebody else when they don't even know their entire situation. For me, it was even, I remember I used to get almost frustrated with you, not that you even did anything, but you would just talk about this experience you had and how beautiful, and I breastfed for 18 months, and it's like, what do you mean you're not producing milk? Or you would just say things not at all trying to criticize me, but I would take it like, it's not that easy. Like, I remember I would eat the stupid cookies, I would drink the stupid tea, I would be on this diet, I would pump every time she was napping, but it never stopped. And as soon as I would pump, she would wake up and I would have to breastfeed her again, and my breasts were like bleeding. It was horrible. And you would always try to help me and give me tips, and I was like, it's just not working. Like, I had to feel like I wanted to like strangle you, because your experience seemed so easy, and it wasn't for me.
And it's not so easy. I remember the first month being the hardest, you know, to really like, there is pain involved. Like the latching, once I figured that out, then it was pretty easier for me, but just like there was pain. I remember.
Pain wasn't my problem. I think parents go through pain for their kids, they don't care. I would do anything. It was more, I wasn't producing milk. I wouldn't go through any pain. I was like, whatever's the best for her. But I understand I was under a lot of stress. There was a lot going on in my life at the time, and that I think played a part in why I wasn't producing as easily, but I don't know. I just like, it was just a lot. And then once True started losing weight, because you don't know how much they're feeding. It's not a bottle, you can't hold up. Okay, she had 3 ounces. So I would do it. She always was hungry, had really bad acid reflux. And then I remember the doctor was like, she's fine. As soon as you start losing weight though, we have to start either mixing some formula in. And I remember the first time I had to give her formula, I felt so like I failed. And I felt so bad about myself. And then I was like, well, why? Who's even here judging me? Like, who knows?
And you have to feed your daughter if you're not making milk. I think that stress definitely plays into it.
Stress does, but also being alone in Cleveland by myself, not having family there. You're also just trying to figure it out. Like I was. I'm still just trying to figure it out for myself. And like, is this right? But you feel like, for me, I almost felt like, I swear, I was like smuggling drugs by buying formula. I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to tell anyone. Like, I'm like, why am I even acting like this? Why do I care if people know that I'm formula feeding?
How did you know which formula to buy?
I think I asked Kim, and I knew Kylie wasn't going to breastfeed, and I used
You
HIP.
should have had Kylie here too.
But I know Kylie wasn't going to breastfeed. That was her choice from the start. And she found HIP formula. It's from Germany, and it was like, I've read all these reviews. It was awesome. And True had really bad acid reflux, and there's a kind that is thick and it works like to coat her esophagus and stomach. And
I heard that's the best one.
yeah, I've asked my doctors everything, and it was great. And I love my doctor. She made me feel so great about not being able to breastfeed, because so many people are like, well, you're not trying hard enough. You're not doing it right. You're not doing it. I was like, but I am. And at some point, like, you're already delirious and you're already like, oh my God, I have a baby, I can't sleep. I was alone in Cleveland. I just felt really lonely, that sometimes, like, when she was asleep, I maybe just needed to shower, or I maybe just needed 20 minutes to like zen out. But I remember when, I think I tweeted or something like that I was done breastfeeding, or somebody asked me and I answered, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna hear it, but let me just say, okay, I'm done breastfeeding. I don't know how I said it, and people were like applauding me, like, thank God for like just being honest. Like, I was like, it sucked. I hated every minute of it. It was torture. I always felt like I was never giving True enough food. I felt like she was always hungry. And I just, once I stopped though, the pressure, like the amount of pressure that was lifted off my shoulders, and I could enjoy my daughter and actually see, okay, I'm all for breastfeeding. I tried. But if you can't do it, you don't have to feel like a failure. You don't have to feel like, I'm bad at this mom thing. Like, I'm great at this mom thing. Breastfeeding, I wasn't great at. But seeing, like, okay, great, my daughter consumes 6 ounces at this time, 4 at this time. It made me feel so good to now know. Now I have security. I feel safe. I did not feel safe breastfeeding. I always felt like she wasn't eating. I don't believe it's true, I just don't, that kids have stronger immune systems if they breastfeed or not.
You don't?
I really don't. Like, True is one badass chick. Like, she doesn't get sick, thank God.
Maybe it's also better formulas today.
Yeah.
You know, because the formulas before, I think they used to be so much
like even with your
chemicals.
kids or like with mom?
No, I think that starting with Penelope, I think is when they started having like healthier ones, I think, or maybe, but I mean, I honestly never gave them formula, but.
So when they started having milk, it was like almond milk or milk?
They
like
had
not
cow's
formula.
milk. I think we tried goat's milk and cow's milk.
And how do you choose that? Is that just your personal preference, or is that based off your child?
Yeah, no, I think it's like whatever you want. And so we started with goat's milk for Mason and then cow's milk. I don't know why, I just thought goats seemed like healthier. I think becoming a new mom, you feel judged in general in a lot of ways. I think moms can be judgmental towards other moms and really, you know, on everything. I remember just commenting on every little thing. Like if I was wearing flat shoes, they would be like, now that you're a mom, you can't wear heels. And then if I'd be wearing heels, they'd be like, you're gonna carry your kid wearing heels? You know, like anything, literally down to the smallest details, they would criticize. Did you ever breastfeed in public, or you didn't really leave the house during that era?
No, I didn't really leave the house.
Yeah.
I don't think I would though. I'm just someone who, like, I would have a blanket or something. Not someone who's like just whipping out their breast, like to breastfeed. I don't have a problem if someone else does, but I just know, like, me, that's
I was definitely comfortable.
Oh yeah, you
to
were.
breastfeed in front of anyone.
Yeah, you would walk around with
The
cow
pump, I would
pumping
answer
thing on the door,
the room
roof
service with the pump on.
You would.
And be like, hey, just set the food
Yeah.
down. Would you have any advice that you would give to someone who's struggling with breastfeeding?
I think for anybody that's trying to breastfeed, I think first of all, you're doing an awesome job. I think just attempting anything for the health and well-being of your child is beautiful. But I think the more pressure we put on ourselves to live up to some standard, I don't even know whose standard, it's unneeded stress and pressure that we don't like. Just being a new mom is enough, and trying to find that balance. And if it's something that you want to do and that you can do it and keep like pushing through, and you got this. And if it's something that it's really just not meant for you or your lifestyle, that's okay too. And I think nowadays there's so many great healthy formulas, and you know, I think as long as you're doing whatever's the best for your child, that's the most important thing. And sometimes we get lost in trying to always prove something to the next cyber person, and it's not for ourselves. And that's what's so sad, because there's so many shamers, and you can't worry about that.
And I think also just as moms, trying to be a better community of women who are lifting each other up, and knowing that we're all going through our own struggle, you know, whatever it is that we're feeling guilty about.
Well, like you said, they're gonna nitpick you if you're wearing flats, or like, it doesn't matter what you do. And so just, you can't worry about that.
You'll never win, but I just think it would be nice to, you know, just come together more and